We can debate the crucifixion of Christ. We can even debate if he actually lived. But what we can't debate is the crucifixion of Billy Carlston. This is embarrassing.
It's the biblical text that was written and made into it. You can actually look it up on
He's
Amazon.
playing with him.
I have a version at home. It's called the Sinai
He's
Bible.
toying with him.
Right from Mount Sinai. I'm assuming it's the
And you niggas love him. This fucking bullshit.
Text, prior to the King James Version being put out.
Sure. So when you refer to the Sinai Bible, would you be referring to Codex Sinaiticus?
Here we
like the
go.
Codex that comes. Okay. That's why I was trying to get some clarification, because so you can actually go and see Codex Sinaiticus is at the British Library, so you can go and see it. It's on display, and the British Library has actually digitized the entire manuscript. So I work with manuscripts in my linguistic work. I'm an expert on early Christian scribal culture and particularly written copied manuscripts. I actually have.
Look at this. Look.
I have a facsimile, so I have a photocopy.
Now, I want you to look over here at the far left, on the other side of Mark. Mark is the host. He's the one who's got the camera or the computer in front of him. Billy Carlston is the one on the far left. You just saw his face essentially go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And Wesley Huff pulls a copy of what Billy Carlston unwittingly is calling the Sinai Bible, which doesn't exist. And he assumes it's called that because it came from Mount Sinai. But it's called the Codex Sinaiticus. That term I had heard of, but without a real in-depth understanding of what it was. But Wesley Huff is a theologian, a historian. You can call him a scholar. And Billy Carlston is outclassed, completely outmatched. And he just had that sinking. Have you ever had that sinking feeling in your stomach when you know maybe you've been found out? Yeah, that's where Billy is right now. He says, oh no.
All you niggas. Oh no. I found all you niggas out.
The only reason I asked for clarification.
Right? Yeah, so we back in the building. As these motherfucking frauds keep getting exposed, I was about to come and sit down. I wasn't interested in no football today. Cowboys suck, but we play tomorrow anyway. But right, so I got the TV turned on. I was going to do a deep dive on the Yamasee War. Right? Start wrapping my head around all the fine details. So I'm about to pull something up, and boom. Fraud, scammer, liar. Somebody did a 2-hour video deep dive on Billy Carlston. So I'm about to watch that shit. Now, I don't know if letting the audio play is going to get me flagged or whatever, but I'm going to take a chance at it. Because I want to hear what the fuck is going on. Because I know this motherfucker's a scammer, right? It's gotten to a point where certain people's podcasts and stuff, like, I got to kind of like, I got to refuse to go on there because they associated with people like this. And, you know, much respect to the platforms, but the direction we move in, I can't get, you know what I'm saying? I can't get caught up in that shit. I got enough motherfuckers trying to tear our shit apart to get caught up in scammers and these fraud motherfuckers. So this Billy Carlston shit, who ain't even his real name, it's not even his real name. All that's going to come out when we watch this. Or should I say when we listen to it? I knew he was a fraud from the rip. But he's, you know, shit, these fraud motherfuckers is popular with melanated people, 9-ether people. The chakras love these motherfuckers. The chakras, my lower chakras, my crown chakras love to be lied to. Silly, because you niggas don't want to do the real work. So you want to, I'm going to pray and chakra my way out of this oppression. Oh, I'm going to Reiki, cleanse my spirit out of this situation. listen, we do ceremony too, right? Don't get it wrong. We do ceremony. We burn our stage. You know what I mean? We do all our little ceremony too, but we also get out there and do the work. Why? Because faith without works is dead. And niggas is dead. Walking dead out this bitch. And this is a motherfucker that's going to lead you dead ass to your motherfucking grave. Shit is Thriller in reverse. These niggas is killing you. Niggas like this is killing the black community. Killing y'all. And then niggas like myself, niggas out here that's really doing things and like really loving on the community in a way that y'all don't understand because you want us to coddle you like your mother did. And we're not going to do that. See, they ran the fathers out the house. So when the real men stand up and act like real fathers and tell these little young niggas y'all full of shit, I'm not even going to tolerate this shit. Who the fuck is even, like, shut this little nigga up, right? But nah, your mother had you dancing and everything at the party, being cute, putting on a show. Right? That's a whole nother conversation. And it's all because niggas like this is leading y'all down the wrong fucking path. So stop running my mouth. I'm going to twist one up. We're going to listen to this shit. Video's called Fraud, Scammer, Liar. Billy Carlston doesn't want you to see this. By Anton Wisbisky, white dude. See what his skills is like. Anton Wisbisky. See if you're going to go in now. I can't promise I'm going to watch the whole video. I'm still interested in getting to the bottom for myself of all this Yamasi and all that. So, but I got to devote a little time to this nigga. And you know who's next. Because once this nigga goes, the nigga Rod Hayes is right behind him. Because he did everything he could to attach himself to this fraud ass nigga. So here we go. So this video is 6 days old.
Based on publicly available records, verified sources,
6 days old.
Research. I have made every effort to ensure that the information presented is accurate and supported by documented evidence. The purpose of this video is to inform and raise awareness about matters of public interest, not to defame or harm anyone. I encourage viewers to verify the information for themselves and approach these topics critically. The content herein is my opinion based on these records and does not constitute legal or professional advice. Before I get into this very deep dive that is going to open a lot of eyes, I just want to say, I don't really want to do this video. I've spent a lot of intimate time with Billy and Elizabeth.
Oh, this is a nigga that know him.
I've seen.
Oh, this is a nigga that know him. Oh, this is a nigga that knows him. Oh, this is a nigga that knows him. Oh, here we go. This is a nigga that know him. Damn, you didn't see. Look, you didn't motherfucking cut it up to this motherfucker. And he probably helped you lie to the people. Now he about to pull the rug from under you. I don't know. I could be 100% wrong. We're gonna find out. I'm speculating, right? But look, see.
I think I share what is necessary, and like I said in the beginning of the video, I encourage you to fact check everything I've said. I will say some of these records are harder to find, but you can find them if you search, and you might have to pay some money to get access to them, but they are there. So with that said, let's dive in to the video.
Let's dive
Billy
in.
Carlston does not want you to see.
Woo.
Right? You're open to debating anybody.
I'm open, yeah.
Okay, so if we set up anything with anyone else that's maybe expert in the area of topic that you're okay with a panel like that?
Oh, yeah.
As you heard him, Billy was willing to debate anyone. His lies caught up with him this time when he sat down for a debate with Wes Huff, a Christian scholar and historian. Billy is now making legal threats to ensure the debate does not become public. Once you listen to the debate, you will quickly understand why he does not want anyone to see it.
Right?
I've known Billy personally for over 10 years. I've been to his house. I've had dinner with his family. I've done business with him. He was also a client of mine for his social media. So I've helped push his grift, regrettably. And this man is not who he claims to be, allegedly. So
help
in this
push
video,
his grift.
I'm going to be going into all of that. But before I do,
the nigga's
why
literally
now?
in on it.
Why am I exposing this now? I've known this about Billy for 3 years. And in that
Bong, right on it.
New Year's party in 2022 going into 2023, I don't like people who mislead people. I don't like liars. And I had a personal thing with this all, and I'll give you that story now. When I first started getting closer with Billy during COVID, there was a bunch of drama that unfolded. And long story short, Billy Carlston, to my face, told me and my ex-girlfriend that he was 70 years old. I had no reason to suspect he was lying about his age. I mean, hey, he's got the alien technology, man. Maybe it's that, or maybe it's black don't crack. I don't know, but he sure didn't look 70. But I didn't really have a reason to question it. I even Googled it, and
Well, nigga, I'm really 54 and I'm still dunking. Why don't you come support my channel? And I'm honest. So whatever you help Billy do to blow up, told you he was 70, I'm 54, still dunking on niggas. Come fuck with Turbo.
my ex-girlfriend at the time,
You're gonna get your right, rehabilitate your motherfucking your public image.
Elizabeth, she's hearing rumors that you said that I said I was 70, and I just want to have that conversation with you because remember we had that conversation. I said I wasn't 70, and that was a lie generated by the internet, and it was going around. Now, I have been manipulated my entire life by people like Billy. I don't know what it is with me.
Playing the victim now.
It's been a pattern of my life. And in this moment, every part of my being wanted to say, no, you did tell me you were 70. But because of Billy's power, because of his status, because of the unpreparedness, you know, I lied to his now wife. About 2 years later, at the New Year's party I was at, his wife came up to me and we were all drinking, and she brought that whole scenario up. And she was like, you know, that was really weird, this and that. And I was like, yeah, you know, rumors just generate around the internet. So I lied for him again, like a coward. And then I did it.
So you lied to his wife.
Third time
twice
was with one of his biggest investors, Robert.
And then you
Grant.
lied to the money
I
man.
think he's one of his biggest investors. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I
He's
would have
supposed
to
to think
assume
you
so.
some type of
I met Robert outside
victim?
of my connection with Billy. I met him through
Or
somebody
even
else.
worse, are we supposed to
And
think you're
I run a social
you're a
media
gamer?
agency that helps push
Are you
a lot
the
of
good
these
guy?
New Age spirituality type personas. I've ran that business for almost 9 years. I've recently transitioned it because of some personal changes in my beliefs. And Robert Grant was a lead in my pipeline. When I had my meeting with Robert Grant, you know, you create small talk with people to see how, you know, to connect with them and whatever else. And one of the things I brought up is that Robert is close friends with Billy, and I know Billy, and I'm friends with Billy. And Robert goes, man, do you know how old that guy is? And I was just like, oh my God, he's lying to grown men about his age still. Billy has gone above and beyond to delete all of the Instagram lives that used to be on his page where he would say things like this. I cannot find them. He's deleted them. But I did find a couple comments. I'll just share one of them here with you, where clearly one of his followers heard the same exact thing.
But check it out. Somebody says, you're 64. And I'm not the only one who found it on Google. Right here. Boom. According to Google, he's 64 years old. But they also got 4 likes. So there are multiple people on his own page that say these same things. So are we all just making something up, or did he actually spew this lie? The evidence is here, and he has deleted other posts where he would verbally say it. And this whole thing went down. It was a huge drama with him and his wife. So I'm sure he really tried to clean up that paper trail, if you will. And I was still able to find comments. It took a lot of digging. I won't lie, but it's right here. See it for yourself.
So that's how my relationship with Billy kind of started. And I'm tired for lying for people like this. I don't want to make this video. I don't enjoy doing stuff like this. I believe this guy is not who he makes himself out to be. Of course, everything said in this video is my opinion backed by the facts that I could find online. I'm not here to attack Billy's character. I'm not here to make him seem like something he's not. I'm here to show you who he is based off the clues he's left.
You're here to attack his character.
So why now? Why am I making this video now? Well, Billy's trying to sue me. And he's trying to sue me because I got him on a podcast with a real historian who debunked all his BS in terms of Christianity.
Is that maybe he wasn't crucified?
Yes, the debate freaking took place with
White
Billy
boy
Carlston
set him up.
and Wesley Huff. Yeah. Keep going. We can do a follow-up.
I really appreciate it, Billy. Thanks so much for interacting.
Billy talks about being emotionally stable, and when things go wrong, you gotta take care of business.
There's going to be obstacles. I just had an obstacle thrown at me yesterday. Some crazy crap happened from somebody that I really thought was a close friend. I really honored this person and thought that they were actually a really, really close friend. to the point where I even invited this person to my own wedding, and I only had 14 people at my wedding. So that tells you how tight that circle is.
I wonder why your circle's so tight, Billy. Is it because you actually have no friends, or is it because you've changed your identity and people catch on to your grift after so many years, because it's pretty easy to catch on to?
And this person did some diabolical backstabbing stuff just yesterday.
Diabolical backstabbing. Billy, please explain to me how getting somebody on an interview with you, which we told you about, is diabolical and backstabbing. You knew exactly what you were walking into, but you were probably too lazy to do your own research, because clearly you don't know how to do that. And you didn't look up who Wesley was. And because you came face to face with a real historian and linguist, the fraudulent documents you like to claim as truthful have nothing to stand on. And you didn't like that you got exposed. And because you got exposed for knowing nothing about Christianity, you freaked out. You freaked out so much that you were knocking at my client's door at 2:30 a.m. in the morning.
Now I got to handle that situation.
With legal papers, acting like you have the power to enforce some type of "you got served." You guys, this is the type of person Billy is. Like, he does have a brain injury, so maybe there is something literally wrong with him. I don't know. But this is...
Let me say that. He got a certain look in his eyes. Yeah, he looked like he got a brain surgery. He looked like he's just speaking from like he memorized the script.
You got this guy walking up at his house at 2:30 in the morning because of a debate that he posted. That, by the way, wasn't even that bad. I mean, it was bad because Billy doesn't know what he's talking about, but there wasn't like arguments, and Wesley was very kind, and he could have pushed way harder, and he didn't. So Billy, bro, was it diabolical, or is what you're doing diabolical?
But at the same time, my mind went right into solutions mode. What's the solution to this problem, and how can I do it? How can I take care of this situation?
The solution is to pretend you're a lawyer and knock at my client's door at 2:30 in the morning.
How can I take care of this situation, which I've already worked on last night while it happened?
No, you sure did, Billy. You sure did work on it the other night.
I didn't wait and think and sob and, oh my goodness, I can't believe this person backstabbed me like this, and why is this happening to me?
Backstabbed you? Please show me where the backstabbing occurred.
Yes, I processed the anger and the...
Billy, there's nothing to process. There's literally nothing to process. You agreed to an interview with Wesley. There was no bait and switch. You knew exactly what you were walking into. We told you we were going to talk about religion, but you don't know what you're talking about. And because you finally stepped foot in front of somebody who knows what they're talking about, you were exposed for who you really are. So let's talk about Billy's credentials. I mean, he did go on Joe Rogan talking about how he got into all this stuff.
Next morning, and I told the teacher I have to go to the library inside the school, Rainbow Park, and I said I need to get all the encyclopedias on aerospace. And she gave me the encyclopedias on aerospace, and that's when I started researching from that exact moment.
Wow.
And I haven't stopped since.
So you were how old? 8?
7.
7 years old. Oh my God.
So he claims he was 7 with Joe, but with Wesley and Mark.
But since I was 6, I was studying aerospace.
Now, could that be an honest mistake? Sure. But if you're going on Joe Rogan, I would really highly encourage you to have your stories and facts in order. So what are Billy's real credentials here? He claims...
And you studied at both Harvard and MIT?
Harvard was for ancient civilizations. I took a class and got a certificate in ancient civilizations. And at MIT, I took a class in applied neuroscience and got a certificate in applied neuroscience.
Okay, so he says he goes to Harvard. And when you hear these words originally, most people are like, oh yeah, like he graduated from Harvard. Billy Carlston did not graduate from Harvard. Billy Carlston did not graduate from MIT. Billy Carlston took a free class that any human being can take on ancient civilizations at Harvard and neuroscience at MIT.
Quick shout out to all you grifters. Stop fucking with editors. Stop fucking with niggas who film y'all niggas. Stop fucking with niggas that's nice with this motherfucking editing equipment. We document everything and we'll fucking expose you bitch ass niggas.
In the class I'm teaching here, I'll provide you all the sources. Y'all, listen up. You can literally go take these classes at Harvard yourself. This is nothing to be proud of. I mean, and by the way, this is all recently. So clearly he's starting to realize people are catching on to his grift. This is not impressive. And why does his Harvard University credentials say he went to school for 3 years? He says he went for 3 years, but the course he says he took only takes 1 year. Did it take him 3 years to take a 1 year course? That's crazy if so. Or is he just trying to skew the perception of who he really is to continue his grift? That is a question I do not know how to answer. I'll let you decide. He forgot to mention the part where he was an actor.
Over dry the beard because that can create itching and irritation.
But Billy, despite his quote unquote education, he also claims he's a scientist.
You know, when I go a lot of places, because I'm 6'4", a lot of people, you know, did you play basketball? You know, did you play football? What do you do for a living? I tell them I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist. That's what I tell people. And you got just to see the look on a lot of these people's faces when you first tell them that. They're like, huh? A scientist? Like they're completely shocked. It's like, this black guy just told me he's a scientist. You know, you can see.
I asked my husband to call another man into our bed to satisfy me. I adore my husband, truly, but his help was so slender and tiny that it
in their face.
Billy, my friend, science doesn't really care about your feelings. Yet, based off your own words, you like to base your research off what you feel it is.
If they ask me questions, I'll continue to try to educate them on what I believe or show them the way that I feel it is.
This is literally the definition of being emotional, which you claim you aren't. But based off your actions and how you do your research, you're clearly emotional. You have no idea what a real scientist is like. Let's talk about Billy's past. He also claims he's not a criminal. And you'll hear him say this a lot. He even made a video back in 2023 to debunk the allegations that certain people had started putting out about him. About that he spent time in jail, about that he was arrested for identity theft, and all these different things that he claimed are not true. He put a video out about it. Unfortunately, I can't find the video. The reason he probably deleted it is because he probably tried to debunk something that was actually true. And probably Elizabeth or somebody close to him was like, dude, you can't have this out here because this is a lie. So the video is gone. I found that very interesting. For somebody who prides himself as being honest and transparent and, you know, a thought leader and all these different things. But when I looked into it, not only is Billy a criminal, but he lies to people about being a criminal. Let's take a look.
That's a bit.
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months.
That's a year. If you innocent, 3 months is a fucking year. That's a bit.
I went on a trip with a friend of mine to Georgia a long time ago. We were kids, basically. And
a kid. You were 31 years old. This was in 2002.
He had some marijuana in the back of his trunk. He had not even a lot. I mean, it was personal use. It was less than an ounce. It was in his speaker box. We get pulled over going into Georgia. So they pull us over and everything else. He forgets he has it in there. It's so old that it's dry rotted, I guess, you know. And they searched it. They found this dry rotted, bud in the back of the trunk.
So Billy, it wasn't marijuana. It was cocaine. That's a big difference. And unfortunately, somebody tried to wipe this clear of the internet, clearly, because it's very hard to find details on this. But I dug these details up over 2 years ago. They've gotten harder since.
And they took us down to the local, the local police department, the local jailhouse. And they kept us in there for 3 months waiting to go to trial. He had given the statement that this guy was just a friend of mine, a passenger in the car and everything else. People were begging to get out of there just to go to prison. But it was a hell of an experience for me to be able to be around those people. I became like the leader in there, of course, dropping knowledge on people and getting people's minds right and everything else. And people, the hardest core criminals and stuff in there were like hating to see me leave, literally tearing up when I got out of there. Obviously, they had to let me go because I didn't do the wrong.
3 months?
3 months. 3 months.
That's a quarter.
That's what they do. It's a business. It's a business.
It almost feels like you just needed to experience every single thing for no reason, just so that you could relate to the rest of the world.
I already knew that. That's exactly what it was. I had been through that situation, which of course I was completely exonerated. I have no criminal record at all. Matter of fact, I just got my concealed weapons license. But I'm a Team USA basketball coach, so there's no record there. But being able to be around those people and experience them at that level and talk to them on the level that they were at and understand what they were going through, and then to be able to talk to them and take their mind to a whole other level. Some of those people looked me up when they got out of prison, down in Miami, and we linked up again, and they were like, I did this, I changed my life here, I changed my life there, all from just me helping them find a way to look inside and elevate their consciousness. So it was a people will look back at that experience in their life and be like, I can't believe this happened to me, and cry about it and whine about it. I'm thankful for it because it gave me another perspective of life that I probably would have never seen. And it gave me the ability to relate to people that have gone through that or been through that system on a level where I can directly talk to them. They understand. I know exactly what's happened, how they felt about it. And also I can give them a step-by-step process on how to elevate themselves and not even have to worry about ever going back.
But
that was a great experience, man.
Do you see what our greatest teachers have to go through to teach? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's almost karmic. It's like you have to go through something. Even if you walk in a straight line, you still have to feel that diversity to see if you can face the challenge so people can learn from you.
Right. Now, I find this whole thing he's telling Dame Dash very interesting. I'm actually curious if this is where the idea of forbidden knowledge came from. The dude went to jail and was apparently inspiring the criminals inside the jail.
Yeah, I don't believe none of that shit. I don't believe. Nope.
And apparently, after he got out of jail, people looked him up and told him about what they shared with him in jail, inspired them. Now, I'm all for inspiring people. I have a past too. You know, everyone's got a thing in their past. I have no problem with that. My problem is the lies. But I just can't help but wonder, is this where Billy got the inspiration for forbidden knowledge? Obviously, that's just my speculation, but that's very disingenuous because he probably told those people he had nothing to do with this crime and the cocaine and whatever else, but clearly
It's not my cocaine.
there's clearly something to do with it. Whether he took a plea or something else, I don't fully know. I cannot find those records.
No, all of a sudden.
But something happened. This was a serious charge. I want to give Billy the benefit of the doubt here, but he didn't learn his lesson. And I know he didn't learn his lesson because this happened in 2002 with the cocaine. And oh, by the way, he says he was virtually a kid.
A kid. You were 31 years old. This was in 2002.
So to play this off like you were like 18 years old
This nigga was moving
is just very disingenuous. And clearly you didn't learn your lesson because in December 2013, you got arrested for fraud. Here is Billy's court records that I pulled up from the Broward County website. On December 18th, 2013, the defendant, William Carlston, this was before he changed his name, was arrested for using a fictitious ID in the card in the name of Charles Rubin to fraudulently open a Chase checking account at Chase Bank. So following in the vehicle's center console, this is what was found. A Florida driver's license in the name of John Black Knight. Okay, so that's not Billy. An Amex Costco card found in the name of John B. Knight. I don't need to read all of it. You can see it right here. But he says, after waiving his Miranda rights, William Carlston admitted to opening the two Amex accounts, the American Eagle account, the Barclays account. He advised that he has never used the real identity information of another person to open the accounts. Further investigation revealed in 2013, the defendant opened at least 6 credit accounts, 6, using Tony Bellamy's real social security number without his authorization. For each of the 6 accounts established, Tony Bellamy's name, date of birth, phone numbers, address were not used. Each credit account had an account balance. The following names and dates of birth were used in addition to the social security. Wow. Long story short, I'm pretty sure he ended up going to the jail. Here he goes. I read defendant Miranda rights via card, which he waived and admitted that the license was fictitious. Defendant advised that he purchased the license off of the street in Miami. This is 11 years ago. Not even. Yeah, it's literally like almost exactly 11 years ago. Defendant advised that his credit is bad and could not open an account under his real name. Defendant signed consent form to search his vehicle, where I found another Florida driver's license in the name of John Black Knight. I also found a Florida Power light bill in the vehicle with the name Charles Rubin on it.
This is fucking insane.
Defendant advised that he printed out a bill on his computer and changed the name. Defendant also advised that in the past he changed his birth name from Billy Cameron Carlston to his current name. Carlston also changed his name. His real name is William Carlston.
Mm-hmm.
Why would someone have to change their name? Alias name, Carlston Billy Cameron. Alias name, Carlston William Tyrone. Charged for fraud. Here you go. Here's the arrest information. And, you know, I could go on and on. I don't need to be a freaking detective here. You can go download this stuff if you want, but you get the idea. This is Billy Carlston. This is forbidden knowledge. It's the same guy. And he makes a video that is now deleted trying to say this isn't him. Yeah, you can look up all his records. Broward County, look it up. It's all there. I'll put some screenshots so you can check it out yourself.
Maybe I am missing information about Billy's charge that he talks about, because I came across something really interesting, and it is a post that he put out. I'll put it here. And he says, my new documentary will be on Amazon soon. Take a journey with me into the county jail for one night and the extensive process that I had to go through to get my case terminated. Okay, so he acknowledges there was a case, just like he said to Dame Dash. So it all adds up, right? What doesn't add up based off what Billy says is the nature of the case. From what I found, it's cocaine. From what he says, it's marijuana. And it seems like he was going to make a documentary about this. You know, this was all the way back in 2018. I went to go look up if the documentary came out, and it did not come out. It's still in pre-production. So I don't know, maybe it never happened. You know, maybe this was a project he was working on and he dropped it for whatever reason. But I was actually kind of glad to see this post because, you know, this was 2018 when he made the video about, is Billy a fraudster and did he really go to jail and all that other stuff that I showed earlier. That was like that was much later. You know, this was later in time. So this has clearly been on his radar, and I would just love some clarity. Like, I really would love to know the truth. Again, I don't want to paint somebody for something that's not true, but based off Billy's words and what I could find on the internet, something does not add up. Like, did you actually do fraud? And if you did, no worries. Like, we all make mistakes, but why do you have to lie about it? Why do you have to try to cover it up? Why did you change your name? You know, these are questions that I just have to I just personally want answers to, especially if you're a public figure who are guiding people in their business, in their spirituality, in their mindset. Like, one of the biggest things for all of this is transparency. Like, just like those Christian pastors, you know, they preach love, but then they rape children. It's like, I can't trust you with my spirituality. That's ridiculous. Why would I ever trust you with that? And I'm not saying Billy does that, but I am saying that, you know, if he has a fraudulent past, I'd love for him to just come clean about it so that we can just have clarity so we don't have to wonder. But based off what's on the Broward County website and other websites, like the documents I showed, there is something. There's clearly something. Unless this is all fraud and Billy's actually the one that his ID got stolen. I don't think so, based off everything that's there. I mean, he's gone to jail a few separate times. So there's something, but I found this super interesting because he was going to make a documentary about it. So, I mean, if you're committing to making a documentary about how your case was unlawful and terminated from his own words, that's significant. That matters. And I feel like if this is all true, he would have talked about it more.
This hydrogen water bottle is going viral. It slows down aging and disease. Watch this video now before the bottled water companies take it down.
So I don't know. It's just really, really interesting.
Billy Carlston also raised almost $48,000. This was in September 2017. It was for the island of Puerto Rico. There was Hurricane Miami, and Billy actually raised $47,814. Now, I am personally insanely skeptical about this. I'll show you why. I'm not drawing any conclusions, but I'm going to commentate on this and just show you why I think this is very fishy. He also claims he's donated $12 million in his career. I'd love to see some receipts on that one, because you claim you always come with receipts.
Again, I always bring you guys the receipts. I always bring the receipts.
Right? Billy Carlston is trying to bury this debate. and he's running into some roadblocks, and there's legal action being threatened and taken. And this is where we're at. So go ahead and play this.
According to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
Do you mind if I ask a clarifying question?
Okay, first of all,
when you say
this is so these are the types of claims he makes.
Yeah.
According to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified. Of course, if Jesus wasn't crucified, then he couldn't have been resurrected. These are the social claims he makes. The issue with these claims is they're easily debunkable.
According to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
Do you mind if I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
When you say the Sinai Bible, what are you referring to specifically? Refer to the Sinai Bible. Would you be referring to Codex Sinaiticus, like the codex that comes? Okay, that's why I was trying to get some clarification, because I actually have a facsimile. So I have a photocopy of Codex Sinaiticus that I work with in my office.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all, slight flex.
I mean, the whole thing is flex. He's like, what specifically are you referring to? Are you referring to Connecticus?
Codex Sinaiticus. And then he pulls out.
He pulls it out.
He pulls out a photocopy version of the entire thing.
That's great.
Fuck his whole head up.
And the only reason I asked for clarification is because Sinaiticus in particular is just a 4th century Greek manuscript. Its text of the Gospels reads almost identical to the modern Greek text that we develop translations from. When you say that
and a lot of
nigga knew he was done.
Created from this
Dumbass
Codex
look on his
Sinaiticus.
face.
Earliest kind
Got
of
that
compilation
Dre
of
look on his
the
face.
Greek scripts, right? Because all these were different letters and scrolls.
So it's just a
Like he just
compilation
got
of
pulled
the
out of a
earliest Greek
motherfucking
manuscripts.
car wreck.
Kind of a book form, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so because before they were just letters and scrolls, so someone finally compiled the copies of the copies of the copies of the copies, right? Because there's multiple manuscripts going out, being sent
Nigga
out,
standing there with the
and then they
deer
finally
in
compiled it. And so
headlight,
you do textual criticism by going
practice.
back to the oldest and to the latest, and you find out that there's not much difference, and they
at
compiled
this
it all into the
shit,
Codex
man.
Sinaiticus.
Gotcha. Okay.
it denies the crucifixion or that the crucifixion isn't there. I mean, I can go on right now,
Look
Codex
like they
Sinaiticus,
paused the
and I can
fucking
look up
video.
Matthew
He's
27,
so fucking
where
stiff.
it has Jesus being crucified. And that's in Codex
Hey, is there a
Sinaiticus
picture of
or
this
the
nigga?
John 19 or any of the other ones. So
He knocked his
my
head a little
confusion is that it doesn't read any differently.
That white boy set you up,
First of
bro.
all, Wes is so patient and so loving.
Yeah. He's like, can I have a clarifying question? I'm so confused by what you're saying.
I can't be this guy. This is why I tend not to like debates unless they're in person.
Yeah.
Because I can't be this charitable over the internet. This is a skill that Gavin Ortland
you
has.
sparing him.
I say
Nigga
Trent Horn
cooking this
has.
nigga.
Wes has.
Lucky he debating a Christian.
I'm a crash out. If you say something crazy, I'm a crash out over the internet.
Yeah.
In person, it's different.
Yeah. Over the internet, you're gonna be like, Billy, it doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Where was that piece
I found the
discovered?
text where I was referencing. Actually, I was misquoted. I misquoted there. It's the
misquoted.
Gospel of Barnabas.
So he just completely changed the claim.
It wasn't Codex Sinaiticus. It wasn't the Sinai Bible. It was the Gospel of
Pardon
Barnabas.
me, it wasn't Las Vegas.
So he
It
just
was,
completely changed the claim. And then, and then it completely turns into a whole nother discussion.
But it gets good. Play.
Never got crucified. As a matter of fact, the Sinai Bible, Jesus was crucified. Well, that doesn't exist in the Sinai Bible. The Sinai Bible. The Sinai Bible. But then you go to the Sinai Bible. In the Sinai Bible. And the Sinai Bible. According to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
Yeah, actually, I was misquoted. I misquoted there.
This is a claim he's made everywhere.
I misquoted there. It's the Gospel
Roasted
of
that
Barnabas.
nigga.
Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
I've actually worked with, there are 2 manuscripts of the Gospel of Barnabas.
Okay. So
He's like,
one,
I actually reincarnated, but my past life wrote the Gospel of Barnabas, and
For over 17 years, I had an abusive relationship with the P word, and logically, I knew that it was detrimental to my relationship.
You hear that? These white boys clowning him, and niggas take this man serious.
of the Sinai Bible. That's not in the Sinai Bible, right? It's not in there. That's what he bought. So then he goes to the Gospel of Barnabas.
Yeah.
Now that sounds, oh, Barnabas? Well,
Oh,
Barnabas
wow. Okay.
was an axe and he moved around with Paul. And
yeah, that sounds legitimate.
that sounds legitimate. Well, pull it back and look at Billy completely to the horror of this entire situation.
Look.
He really got cut, huh?
Bro, it was
I
bad.
misquoted there. It's the Gospel of Barnabas.
Hey,
Jesus
oh,
was-
first of all,
Hold up. And this nigga still over here roasting. These motherfuckers over here fucking dissecting his motherfucking crash out debate. Embarrassing.
props to Billy for at least misquoted, for acknowledging that he misquoted. Props to him. It's just the issue. You've done this probably on a dozen podcasts, big podcasts, shows. These are big podcasts. So my heart for Billy is maybe this will finally break him and bring him back to Jesus.
Yeah, the only way Billy Carlston can recover from this, if he wants to like go to the next level, is he's gonna have to leave his black audience behind, and he's gonna have to submerge himself. He's gonna have to submit to Christianity, become a Christian. That's the only way he's going to be able to recover from this and go to the next level of grift that he wants to get to. He's going to have to go full Christian. He's going to have to go full Christian. Because at this point, the Christian's on his ass. You see, dude said, hopefully he just comes back to the Lord. That's all they want. All a Christian wants you to do is come to the Lord. Okay, nigga, you was a lying, dirty rat and thief. You was the scum of the fucking earth. But if you come back to the Lord, we're going to forgive everything. You can get money with us. And that nigga is enough of a grifter that he gonna graduate to the fucking ultimate grift. And then he gonna find a whole new population of black people. I'm sure some black people gonna go with him. But he gonna have to leave all that other shit alone. Because these Christians on his ass. He done fucked up. Got these motherfucking Christians coming after his ass.
Like, come on, bro. You got your grift going. You got all these people following you. Like, you pulled off the alien shit. You got that off. Like, that got the alien genre got its own fan base. You feel me? Like, you good. Once you settle down in the UFO shit and you got an audience, you good. Right? Why you gotta swerve over into the Christians lane? And now you getting checked. Let me tell you something, bro. It ain't a whole lot of UFO temples all over the place. But you see this? You see that? You see that? Every block, bro. Mr. Carson, every block. You're gonna see that in every block in America. Right? Whether we like it or not. See this? That's not a UFO temple. That's not an Anunnaki building. All right? That's a Catholic church. All right? I keep telling y'all about communities. You gotta respect communities. And I don't know how many are there bigger communities in America than Christians?
Got these motherfucking Christians coming after his ass. Got this fucking ex-cameraman. Got his fucking ex-editor coming after his ass. The nigga that helped him stitch together the fabric of his foolery. Yeah. That's the nigga that was on the sewing machine. Patching shit together. Yep, that's what happens. Let's go.
Right? Because I don't think he's beyond redemption. I think the Lord can use him in great ways. What a beautiful arc to the story this would be.
The Gospel of Barnabas. Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
I've actually worked with, there are two manuscripts of the Gospel of
Billy
Barnabas,
Carlston.
which we only have two copies of. One is in Italian and one is in Spanish. Not to be confused with either the
First problem. What's the first problem?
Those weren't the
They're
original
in
languages.
Italian and Spanish,
Yeah,
fam.
those are very. Those weren't the original.
Barnabas didn't speak Italian or Spanish, fam.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Go ahead.
It's like me, it's spaghetti.
Epistle of Barnabas or the Acts of Barnabas, which are two apocryphal documents from the 2nd century. But the Gospel of Barnabas in particular, we know it's a forgery. In chapter 92, it says that Jesus spent 40 days on Mount Sinai, and then he came to the Jordan River and he walked to Jerusalem. But Mount Sinai is more than a week's journey away from Jerusalem. It shows no actual indication of coming from or even having knowledge of first century Jewish understanding.
So okay, so it's not.
Oh, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. This is light.
It's not corroborated by any of the other writings, obviously.
Fam, it's written in languages that they didn't even speak.
It's written in language they didn't speak, and it's not even like it doesn't have a geographical understanding of the land.
Yeah.
It actually says Jesus is the Christ, but not the Messiah. Whoever the author is, he didn't know that those were the same words. The Gospel of Barnabas paraphrases Dante's Inferno, which was written in 1314. We don't have any.
So he's just saying this is like a Christian fan fiction of Dante's Inferno
from 1300.
Wow.
Evidence of
But
it.
he presents it as well. Oh my bad. It was the Gospel of Barnabas.
The Gospel of Barnabas.
Implying Gospel of Barnabas is written in the 1st century. Not maybe he wasn't directly implying, but this is 1,200 years later,
implying that it is a book that because of the Council of Nicaea, they just left out, but it is actually so revealing
to the 14th century. So I'm good. This is amazing. He didn't know that those were the same words.
That's why
the
the shit
Gospel of Barnabas
works, 'cause
paraphrases
motherfuckers just want
Dante's
to feel
Inferno,
good.
which was written in
They don't want no
1314. We don't
real
have any
shit.
evidence of it prior to the 14th
They
century.
wanna be
So I'm a
coddled.
historian. So if there
I want
is
you to
something
talk
that
to their
denies
emotions, and that's
crucifixion,
what
I want to
these
make
niggas
sure
do.
that I'm
Tell them
analyzing it, and
fanciful
that the
shit.
methodology by which I
Your
analyze it actually
ethers and your
reveals
chakras
that
is
the
aligning.
content can be
We about to
accurately tied
vibrate
to the
up out of
event.
this.
We have
And there's no east or west or north or south and all this other fuck shit. The Anunnaki are the black people, and we're the kings of the universe. Fuck the planet. All this wild shit.
Yeah. Like
poor guy.
He's just nodding his head.
What
all the
is
time,
there
like,
to
okay.
debate?
I
This
almost feel
nigga's
bad for Billy.
He's
insane.
getting schooled, right?
Yeah, I feel bad for Billy. The only reason I don't feel bad for Billy is because of he's been peddling and pushing this stuff. Like no one would care if you just peddled your alien videos and all that. Like, oh, the aliens came down and they talked. It's the issue is that in his mind, in order for all of that to be true, he has to attack Christianity. Right? It's interesting. And when you get into the alien stuff, what is it? We talked about this before. It's all inverted. It's all inverted. It's these beings that are coming down similar to Jesus coming down, except the beings are coming down with advanced technology. Jesus is coming down in a manger as a humble baby. Right? Lower technology, right? And so that's the issue. Like Jesus is coming in vulnerable, they're coming in powerful. So it's like it has to be inverted. You know what I mean? It has to be it has to be inverted. And so he has to attack the true story, which is Jesus, Emmanuel, God among us. And that's how he set himself this trap by consistently attacking Christianity. And he finally got his card pulled.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Single copies of the Gospels.
There you go. And this is the same thing for the fucking abos. Y'all could have fucking pushed your little narrative, right? But you had to attack other groups. And you'll never be able to rise above the same ceiling that you're seeing Billy Carlston, right? If he just would have picked one little lane, just been on some alien shit, these Christians wouldn't have had nothing to do with him. But he grifting so hard, he got to slide into the Christian lane, start talking crazy about Christians. Now his followers start talking crazy about Christians. That shit spread, and then guess what? That shit catch up to him. Now these Christians is on his ass, and they about to shut him down. And the only thing left for him to do is become a Christian. That's it. Right? This nigga's done. Billy Carlston is done. Only people that's going to accept him is black people who want to still feel good. And this will fit right into their little conspiracies. And, oh, yeah, see, it's a conspiracy. They really want to hold Billy down because he told the truth. Now we arguing over Christ again. This nigga said they didn't crucify Christ. He cited books that aren't even legitimate. The nigga's still going to protect him, just like Janet Jackson. Oh, no. Janet was dead wrong, and niggas was fucking protecting her. Couldn't even just say, yeah, you wrong, Janet, and move on. Nah. Billy is a fucking grifter. He's been exposed many times before. His homeboy exposed him 6 days ago. This video exposed him. All this Anunnaki, fucking Zachariah stitching. Like, how many times we got to hear this shit recycled from how many different motherfuckers? Like, this shit is pathetic, yo. But I'm done with it. Fucking Billy Carlston is a motherfucking fraud. Just like the rest of these grifting ass niggas.
I don't know anybody in the field of papyrology, paleography, historiography who actually refers to these documents as being legitimate.
That's fair enough. I can respect that.
Right? Shut the fuck up if you respect that. Fucking weird ass nigga.